Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter passed away at the end of 2024. During one of the most fragmented periods in decades when many faced greater uncertainties than they ever before. A state funeral was held this week in the U.S. Capitol in his honor. He might have been a controversial figure as a U.S. president during his time in the White House, but some of the actions he took, both then and later in life, have laid the foundation for significant causes today and benefit countless ordinary lives. For example, it was under his leadership that the U.S. eventually normalized the relations with the People's Republic of China in 1979. While this was undoubtedly a strategic move for both sides during the Cold War, it also opened the doors for ordinary people in both countries, allowing them to broaden their horizons and better understand each other.
Academic exchange is important and necessary. And also I believe this is good for both countries because through people-to-people exchanges, you improve the mutual understanding between two sides.
In the winter of 1989, I was asked to be an extra at a film at Beijing Film Studio. Little did I know that I would end up spending much time over the years in my work, in my career at Beijing Film Studio. As a person in the middle, as a person I consider myself a bridge builder, trying to bring both sides together.
Both Wu and Nickerson were among the millions in China and the U.S. who gained a broader vision of the world and a better understanding of each other thanks to the normalization of relations between the two countries. As more young people visited each other's countries, President Carter's famous 3 a.m. phone call story went viral.
While he was visiting China, he was having a discussion with Deng Xiaoping. And Deng Xiaoping said, I wanted the U.S. government to accept 5,000 Chinese students and scholars. He picked up the call, and then he heard what his science advisor wanted to know. In his own words, he said, ask him to send 10,000 students, and he hung up the phone.
Despite its earlier achievements, the bilateral relations between China and the U.S. have faced increasing challenges over the past decade. In fact, it was exactly 10 years ago, in 2014, when President Carter made his last visit to China. I had the honor of conducting his final TV interview during that trip. President Carter was candid and had already identified the root causes of the tensions we see today.
And we knew that China and the United States had different culture, different ancient history, different form of government, different interests. United States, highly developed country. China was a very backward economic country at that time. We saw the differences. So we anticipated that in the future there would be many differences between our two countries. But we also realized, I think accurately, that the things that bind us together for peace and progress are much more important than the things that divide us one from another.
When the sun shines, everyone is happy. But when it rains, it becomes real. It truly tests one's belief. The current challenges in China-U.S. relations have become a litmus test for how people fundamentally perceive the nature and significance of this relationship.
President Carter is being consistent in believing the decision he made was a good decision. It was for the goodness of both the U.S. and China, and also for the betterment, the improvement of living conditions for the people of the whole world. He never regretted that.
As they say, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. This sentiment resonates with the twists and turns of President Carter's life as he overcame challenges and contributed to the causes of peace and equality and development. The quote also serves as an apt metaphor for U.S.-China relations, arguably at their lowest point in decades. As we reflect on President Carter's legacy, along with the contributions of countless others in both China and the U.S. who have worked to strengthen one of the most important bilateral relationships, the responsibility now falls on us to find a way forward.